This is the easiest but the most effective way to become productive in 2025. Make fuck ton of money straight from a well-known millionaire that you probably watched on YouTube. Now please bro, stop that urge to scroll. Put this video on full screen and try to understand the concept of disciplined debt. Okay, you want to be a millionaire, right? At least you want to get to 10k a month. And what would your path look like? You're on a horse, and here's the map, like in old ass maps with pirates and stuff. It is hard and complicated. There will be a lot of sharp turns. There will be moments when you'll be on edge. That horse is your body. Person on the horse is your mind. And when you're trying to get that horse to the destination, it gets tired, right? It gets fatigued. But what do you do when it gets tired? You whip the horse. You force it to go further. Just go whatever it takes. And when it actually needs to be hydrated, when it needs food, you keep going. You understand that you need to make money. You need to grind hard for this shit. You watch so much videos. You need to be productive 24/7. The horse needs care. You need to look after it. How you look after it? By continuous pushing. Everyone does that by whipping it. But what will happen on the verge of getting to the 10k a month? You won't know when it collapses. You just can't predict it. It's just your physical capacity. How much can it take without caring, without looking after it? Your horse is just dying out of exhaustion. You don't know when it will happen, but the loss is guaranteed. That's what we call physiological and biological constraints. It's absolutely vital for survival. 10,000 years ago, villagers are going on a horse for long distances. They wouldn't just force it to go, right? They needed to think long term. They don't want that horse to die of exhaustion in the middle of the desert. But that's exactly you, falling in the hardest part of the business, when it's valley of despair, when actually you just need to go through it to get your first results. You just need to push a little bit harder. You need to be more consistent. But because you were working super hard, you've stopped. Now you're not gonna get money. You need for that horse to recover for at least like 2-3 weeks. In the best case scenario. The worst case scenario, it just dies. Why am I telling about this for so long? How success actually works? You have a battery. You have an inside battery. You're giving 100% throughout the day. And it drains naturally throughout the day. It's giving from exactly what you need. From Monday to Sunday. Every single day, that's a little block for 100%. Some days you've done nothing and the battery is still like on 30 or 40%. But usually, we do the opposite when we're working, when we're hustling. And actually, it happens more often when you're not working on your business. When you're working on 9 to 5, when you're studying, it still takes up a lot of energy, right? And those 100% drain really quickly, bro. Imagine that you worked on Monday pretty fine. It was your routine. Everything went smoothly, but on Tuesday, you had a big ass task, or you decided to do more of it, because you tried to be more productive and stuff, you had more free time. So what happened then? You woke up, you've done your deep work, now it's 3 or 4 p.m, your physiological constraint kick in, and your battery is drained. It's 4 p.m. It's that example with horse, your body just get exhausted and you fail. And then mental part is done, is cooked. You basically can't do no more work for the day. So what do? You take a debt from a future you. You take it from Wednesday. You take those 20% to just maintain the day. So what happens? Now you wake up on Wednesday and it's 80%. Tomorrow you need it 120%. How will you do an important work with 80%? That's an interesting fucking question. So now you try to do your usual work and it just doesn't happen. And your battery drains really fast. Like now it's 2 p.m. You're done. You're cooked. You need to take a debt from your future self again. And it's Friday now. And you basically have no battery. Now your body is not that stupid that if you don't have a battery now, you just die. There are alternative sources, but what happens when you work on an absolute edge? That's when you'll overuse your discipline. And that is the same muscle. Imagine that is like a joint when you're running. When you're not warmed up and you just go straight for a marathon, they're gonna tell you straight away that this is not the best idea. And the same way with discipline. Like, if you overuse it when your battery is drained, it makes you burn out almost guaranteed. And when it burns out, no rest will help you. It's just 2 or 3 weeks of absolute stagnation. When you don't want to do nothing else, but just relax, because your body needs it. It comes up to forced rest. Your body asks you for rest all the time, but you pushed it because you really needed that goal. Now, instead of forced rest, we need to do something else. Learn the discipline to be undisciplined. Don't take a debt. Control each day's battery. Instead of forced rest, you need that balance. Millionaires face it. And you can hit burnout without even working. Your life is going on. And if you try so many things, if you mentally load yourself with so many things, with dramas, you're getting to a burnout 100%. The actual balance, that yin-yang, when you don't get that horse to exhaustion, instead of taking a debt from a future you in the middle of a huge task, you plan it that way. So in the morning, you've done it all. Now in the middle of the day, you're fine. You take a planned rest. Planned rest is as important as work. If you don't understand it, think long term. Instead of burning out for 3 weeks, you rest 2 to 4 hours each day at least. I'm gonna tell you even more. You need to work just 2 to 4 hours a day. It needs to be deep, concentrated work. So the deep and planned rest works along the way with the work. Now you have a system. You're disciplined in the morning. You're willingly undisciplined in the evening. In the morning, you just get cortisol. In the evening, you just get dopamine. If you switch the concept and if you indulge in something in the morning, it fucks up your hormone system. First of all, you will not do your work. It still drains your battery. mentally, right? Not physiologically. But in the middle of the day, you still have to take a depth from your future self. When you're trying to work in the evening, you're 100% going on your alternative resources because you're done. Like your body is naturally done in the evening. So when you automatically try to work any day in the evening, you're done, you're cooked. Plan it that way. So yin yang, the black part is in the morning, the white part is in the evening. Do you know what I'm saying here? You get stress hormone in the morning that is actually helpful. You take cold showers, you do the hard task undistractedly. And then when the battery percentage went into the right way, now you can relax. Now you need discipline to be undisciplined. You need to do anything but work. I know it's hard. I know you watched a lot of those videos and you need to read some books and you need to watch some podcasts, but those are fine, but be careful. If your mind is still in there, if your mind is still trying to work, it loads you up mentally, right? It's not that you're exhausted physically, but mentally, you'll just not be able to do deep work next day. Think about it, bro. That's how millionaires think ahead of their time. That's how hustlers will do work now and don't even think about next day when they're burned out. But this guy, he watches movies every single day in the evening. He jerks off. He sleeps with girls all the time. But what's interesting, he just does the best work in the morning. He is more productive than 90% of his peers. Like, it's just about controlling your battery. When you're working, you're actually working deeply. When you're resting, you don't even think about work. That balance is what made Charlie Morgan successful. Now, if you want to know more about productivity, click on this video right here. If you want me to double your productivity, click on the link below. Bye.